Hey guys, my name is Ranchan TCR. I just wanted to go on make a video on trigger control and practicing your aim. Um, trigger control and aiming are kind of almost the same technique. I mean, without knowing how to do one or the other, you really can't do both. Um, Trigger control is how to manipulate the trigger to where you're steady enough to stay on your target, whether it's out to 100 yards or out to 1,000 yards. There's a lot of things that affect trigger control. The weight of the trigger, length of pull, and your confidence. Um, if you have a flinching problem, you need to correct it before you can start practicing trigger control. Because you can't have good trigger control if you're scared of your gun. Um, what I'm gonna show you guys with this rifle is what I do for trigger control, or how I practice my trigger control and steady aim. This is my Remington 700 SPS. It's a 22-250, and it has the H-Marks Pro trigger. You can lighten the trigger by turning it clockwise, just a hex screw on the trigger, or you can lighten the trigger, pull counterclockwise, and you tighten it counterclockwise. Tongue twister for me. But anyhow, lighten counterclockwise, tighten clockwise. If you're going to lighten your trigger, you need to make sure your gun's not going to have accidental discharge. What I do is I bang the butt of the rifle on the ground a couple times, preferably without the scope on, or run the bolt fairly hard a couple times, and the safety. And if it doesn't go off, I guess you're safe. And what I've heard is that if you lighten these triggers too much, they can't cock the gun. I don't really see how that works, but I can see it at the same time too. Um, if you want a lighter trigger pulled than 2.5 pounds, you need a different trigger. Midway USA sells quite a bit. I do not suggest a lighter trigger if you do a lot of hunting. You are going to be making a bench rest rifle. And if you want to make a bench rest rifle, I kind of doubt you're going to be watching this video. But if you do, and you got points for me, I'm glad to learn them. Anyhow, this is what I do. I have a dummy round. I reload my own ammunition. It's a 22-250 casing that has a bad shoulder on it. I'm not shooting it, and I figure I can make a couple dummy rounds so I can practice this techniques. Generally, when I'm target shooting, I just throw the casing in one at a time. I've heard that when you're pushing them through the magazine, they can dent the shoulder. I've never seen it, and I've never really seen any effectiveness with accuracy with this rifle, but I'm pretty sure it can if you're wanting to stack bullets on top of bullets. And this gun, it gets about, my best grip is probably 0.3 of an inch. So, I mean, that's pretty okay. That's at 100 yards on a good day. Anyhow, make sure you don't have any live ammo in your gun. If you blow a hole through your wall, it's your fault, not mine. I'm not there to tell you you're a dumbass. So, anyhow, what I do is I take my left hand, if I'm shooting prone. There's two things I do when I'm shooting prone. Watch what your feet are doing. If your feet are set on top, flat on the top, you can feel tension in your back, right? Well, try it laying your feet flat on their sides, and you can feel it feels more relaxed right back there. And then I take my left hand to control the butt of the right back here, okay? And I put it up against my shoulder. And if you're really big into shooting, if you put the biggest damn scope in the world on top of the rifle when you're shooting like this, you need to do something different. You need to you want to try to make the scope as close to the barrel as you can. I know with the 20 MOA, they're a little higher. But if you're a hunter, you kind of want them as close to the barrel as you can. You don't want them to where so close it's going to vibrate and touch each other. That ruins the harmonic frequency of the barrel when you shoot, and it can affect your accuracy. You'd be surprised what affects accuracy of a rifle. But anyhow, and this rifle really does need a cheek rest, and it's a 40mm Bushnell. I want to do that at some point. I just don't like wrapping duct tape and cardboard on there. It looks good for me, so one of these days I'll buy like a Butler Creek cheek rest or something. But again, trigger control, I use my left hand to help control the butt end of the rifle. It's also good for making minute adjustments. You can move it side to side, up and down. And next, put the rifle close to your shoulder. Look down a scope, and I usually put a dot about the size of the bullet I'm shooting out onto a box about 10, 20 feet away. Something that's going to be difficult for you to concentrate on. And that way you can practice your trigger control and being steady with your aim as you pull on the trigger. I don't wrap my hand around the rifle. I let my thumb rest along the side. Now, you really don't need to wrap your hand around the rifle because I can kind of tell you it takes a little more effort to handle the trigger. It's more relaxed, and this is more I don't know, for lack of a better word right now, efficient. It's more relaxed and it's more smooth and cool. So what I do is I go and find my Dr. Pepper box. Once again, make sure your gun does not have any live ammo in it. If you have to do the finger and eyesight and feel tests on your chamber, but once again, here we go. You want to take 3 deep breaths. Between the time you're exhaling and inhaling is when you want to take your shot. That's where your heart rate is going to be the lowest, and you're not trying so hard to concentrate. And here we go. See, I was dead on right there. See, I can't do it twice. And I missed a little bit that time. I'm not the best shot in the world, people. I'm sorry. And there we go. That's what I do. And that's how I practice trigger control, my aiming techniques. If you have any more questions about techniques, or if I didn't do a good job on the video, I guess you can say something too. But that's what I do. And that's the way I practice my trigger control and my aiming techniques. And it's gonna take you time, guys. It's gonna take time out shooting real ammunition. Obviously, shooting blanks without real ammunition is never really going to get you that far when it comes to shooting the real deal. I mean, this gun does have a slight kick to it, but it's not bad. But if you're shooting a 308 or 300 Win Mag 30-06 prone, I mean, it's going to obviously take some time. I mean, I've got videos of me shooting prone with my 30-06 on this channel. Granted, I did put a muzzle brake on it eventually, but I've done it before without the muzzle brake, and I just don't deal with it. I just wanted to watch Paradox blow up, and that's why I put the muzzle brake on. But sadly, I don't have that rifle no more. I want to buy a Winchester in 70 or Ruger in 77. So I'll probably go with the Winchester. But anyhow, guys, that's what I have to say about shooting techniques and trigger control. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a shout. And I appreciate you for watching my videos, guys. And take care, and you guys have a great day, and happy hunting.